Is going to an elite college the key to success and happiness? Well, maybe not, according to a new poll. We've got WSJ's Doug Belkin. He has the scoop on this, and he joins us now. Doug, thank you very much for being there.
Thanks for having me, Simon.
I know that when I was coming up to going to college, I just wanted so badly to go to the best college I could possibly get into, but apparently it's not as big a deal as all that, is it?
Right. So there's been a real struggle over the past few years to figure out what the value of a college degree is, since they cost so much now and kids are going into such deep debt to get them. So the folks at Gallup and Mitch Daniel at Purdue, the new president of Purdue and the former governor of Indiana, created a huge survey of 30,000 college graduates to try to figure out what value folks had gotten from college and sort of how they ended up and what role college played in that. And it turns out, in terms of worker engagement, in terms of overall life satisfaction, it really didn't matter if you went to an Ivy League school or a small state school.
I know, it's interesting. We got a graphic up here that said, do you feel engaged at work? If you're actively engaged, you get satisfaction, 12% engaged, 39% not engaged, 49%. One of the things I thought was very interesting here, it matters more what you study. If you study something that you're really engaged with, that's the key.
It matters what you study, it matters who you study with, and it matters how hard you study it. So if you're engaged in something and then you apply it with an internship or a long-term project, that tends to have consequences for how engaged you are later in life.
Okay. Now we've also got a full screen here about the work engagement and what you get out of it based on what you're studying: science, business, social sciences, and arts, humanities. So basically, down the bottom there, degrees of satisfaction. If you're studying art history, presumably that's a lot less satisfaction if you're a full-time worker than if you've studied science and are there in the lab with the test tubes, making new things.
No, I think you've got it backwards. The engagements, the more people are working who are in STEM and business, but the folks who study the humanities tend to be more engaged with what they're doing.
Okay, so I've got that the wrong way around. So that idea that if you study science, you'll do better and be happier, that's actually backwards, and that is one of the surprising findings then.
Yeah, it is surprising. It's also notable that you're more likely there are more folks who are working. So your employment prospects are sort of at cross currents with what maybe makes you happy.
That is actually shocking. So you'll get the job, but you might not like the job. Whereas if you have the art history degree, you might not get the job. But if you do, then you'll be happier with it. Now let's turn to the debt situation here. Ways to happiness. If you have no debt, are you going to be happier than if you have a lot of debt?
Yeah, so it turns out if you graduate college with $20,000 to $40,000 in debt, and the average of about 3/4 of American students graduate with debt, and of those students, they average almost $30,000 apiece. Those kids are much less likely to have overall life satisfaction than if you graduate with no debt. And they're also less likely to start their own businesses. They just don't have the ability to take the risk.
Okay, well that one isn't as surprising as the other one. It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much, Doug Belkin of the Wall Street Journal.